Hello, hello, everybody, and welcome to our September version of the provider meeting. I am your host today. I'm not Lily, um, but I am Elizabeth Diola, and I am going to try to get us through with as much fun and excitement as Lily does on a monthly basis. No promises, though. Up on your screen, we do have, hopefully you can still see it, our agenda for today. So we're going to kick it off and just get started. Of course, you have the questions box, and there is the handouts section that has 3 different handouts. The one that you see on your screen right now is the entire packet for the meeting today, and hopefully I will be able to show you lots of pieces today. So it's going to change sizes because we have lots to show you. And without further ado, we have lots of people on the call today as well. And we are going to get started. Let's see here. So the first thing on our agenda is our Gift for Marian. It is time, everybody. We are raising funds to support our Dolly Parton's Imagination Library, and I hope that you will join us. This is our page. You can click on it. You can just, even if you search Gift for Marian, you will see the site come up regularly. And then here is our Early Learning Coalition site with our brand new beautiful logo, our literacy princess, Dolly Parton, who loves early literacy and books and spreading her love of reading with children everywhere. And she's got such a dynamic way of sharing her inspiration and her story, which came from her father. So he said that that was the most important thing that she ever did in her career, was to create the Dolly Parton Imagination Library to get books in the hands of children. So what you'll see down here, if you visit the page and you feel so inclined, $27 will pay for a book a month for a child in the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. You can choose any of these options, or you can choose your own amount and give, and then the story is here. And there's just so much. There's so much you can do. We're working on raising $18,000, and we want to thank you. Thank you, Kids Campus. We appreciate it. Apparently, we got a Power Hour prize of $500, and we've got our entire board is giving. So if you feel so inclined, we encourage you. Our goal is to get to $18,000. Sorry if I'm scrolling too fast. We're 61% to our goal, and it doesn't end until midnight tonight. And then I think there are some opportunities tomorrow, or at least it stays open. So if you are supporting this cause, we thank you so much, and we appreciate your help with that. So let me go back to our agenda. Let me see if there's any questions. No questions. Let's see here. So we may have a guest, although I invited her to come in October. So we might, let me check and see if there's anybody on. If you will raise your hand if you're here from our Hands Up program, and I will make sure to unmute you. I believe they are coming in October, though. Let me do a quick check. Okay, so we are gonna hold off on that one. So no guests today. Partner updates. Let me see if we have any partners. If you will raise your hand and I will unmute you that want to share anything, or if any of you want to share anything of what's going on at your site. Of course, you have a celebration or anything else you want to tell us about, feel free. Let's see. I don't see any hands raised. So we do have quite a few of our team on here today, and I don't know if our newest person. So we have hired a new finance director. Her name is Sadie Hackley. I don't see her on right now because they are very busy in the finance department, as you all well know. I'm just going to go ahead and take this time to share with you an update on the workforce grants and the furniture grants and everything else that we were working towards at the end of the year. If you have any questions, of course, pop them into the chat. And then I don't know if we've introduced Cheyenne yet. Cheyenne, were you able to introduce yourself on our last call? You were introduced. I can hear her over the wall from me. So we have a new staff member. She's been with us just about 30 days now, last week, and her name is Cheyenne Fort. Some of you are hearing from her already about the Marco Polo cards and just other pieces. She is in the provider relations side, so just like Mary Brewster, when you hear from Mary about your provider profiles, Cheyenne is our second person in that role as well. So you'll start to hear more and more from Cheyenne as she gets her comfort in, and she keeps growing here with the coalition. So welcome, Cheyenne. Welcome, Sadie, who's not here, but we'll tell her that we talked good about her. So talking about the grants, let me give you a little update. So today, many teachers got paid through direct deposit for the Workforce Initiative grants that you all had worked so diligently to apply for months ago. It took a lot of reconciling this time, and it took it took a lot. Let me just say that it took a lot. Now, our ARPA team, Joseph and Elizabeth Bench, Lizzie, they reached out to everybody that applied and asked them to verify their bank account details. And we did not hear back from a lot of teachers. They gave them about 60 days to respond. And if we didn't hear back from somebody, that didn't mean that they didn't get that they became ineligible for the grant. It meant that they will be getting a hard check. So those hard checks have been printed. They are being given to our CEO, Carrie Thiel, to sign. Once those are signed, they will be mailed out to the teachers. So if your teacher is asking, where's my check? I know my friend got it. Most likely it is because they did not get they didn't verify their bank account. And we are at a point at this time that we have to verify everybody's bank accounts that we have on file for direct deposit to make sure that they are still open, operating. We don't want to incur any unnecessary expenses with return checks and things like that, or unavailable deposits, there's a whole lot that can happen. So if a teacher didn't verify their account, they will be getting a hard check. I would tell them if they don't get their check by mid-October at this point, because I don't know how long it takes for our USPS Postal Service to deliver letters anymore. I would say if they don't get it by October 15th, that should be plenty of time for them to receive it. They should reach out to us and inquire about what happened, and we'll research it and see. So along those same lines, we've also had not many, okay, that's an exaggeration. We've had quite a handful of people saying, well, I submitted stuff in my document library and I didn't get paid or it didn't get reviewed. If you submitted something but you didn't let us know it was there, there's a possibility that we didn't process it, because we don't know when you submit things to your document libraries on the provider portal. And we have talked about that in the past. If you are still missing furniture or anything of that nature, please let us know. You can shoot an email to arpa@elc-marion.org and we will research it and find out. At this time, I'm just taking a list of people I need to have a discussion with our powers that be. I'm not making any promises because the grant did end and those funds are gone as of June 30th. So if you have teachers inquiring, again, just remind them if they didn't verify their bank account or were unable to, they will be getting a hard check in the mail. I don't see any questions. So I am going to keep on going down our list. So I just wanted to remind you guys, we still have the incentives program, and I want to pull up, we have Teach available. These are all programs through the Children's Forum, and we work hand in hand with them. The coalition financially supports the Incentives Florida program. So you can go or have your teachers, anybody that has a degree or is pursuing a degree, check it out, see if they're eligible. It's free money to thank you and keep you in this industry if you have gone above and beyond to obtain any kind of education. So we need to look at what the tiers are if you're eligible and if your teachers are eligible, but please, there are funds there. If some of you might recall that we used to do a professional development reimbursement program, this has replaced that. So we want to encourage everybody to take advantage of the incentives program and get paid. It's a twice a year check that well, it's on a card now, card that you get a bonus every year. twice a year. Let me keep going. So Lena Grow. Some of you took a leap and participated in our Lena Grow program. And that's a program where you have these little recording devices. They don't record the conversations that you have, but they record the back and forth turns of conversations between teachers and children. And then the system analyzes it and gives you a printout of the number of conversations that you had with your children. And then there's a coach that goes along with it and comes in, and it's a 5-week professional development opportunity. And the coach comes in once a week for 5 weeks to work with your teacher in your classroom. And you really analyze what was recorded on the devices. And it's not, when I say recorded, it's not recorded like it's recording today here. We are being recorded so that you can go back and listen to this meeting in the future if you need to. It's literally just the back and forth exchanges between children and their teachers, and there's different things that the software can tell by those conversations. And really, the whole point of it is to increase your conversations with children, because we know that talking to kids, and how does that help your class performance? And I will tell any teacher this, as long as you don't stop having those conversations and narrating the world to your children, you're going to do fine on class. Make your conversations intentional, make them, incite those open-ended questions that incite those children to talk back to you. Those are the things that Lena Grow can help with. So why am I talking to you about this? Because we have an opportunity. We have about 16 slots left for Lena, the Lena opportunity, and it will go into, we can go all the way through January if we need to. So it's a 5-week professional development course. So if your site is interested, we've gotten a lot of positive feedback from those that have already participated. If you're interested, just send an email over to quality@elc-marion.org. All right. I don't have any questions, so I'm going to keep going. I want to ask you something. We're in the middle of planning our 36th annual Early Childhood Conference in partnership with CF. The coalition supports this conference every year, and we have a committee, and some of you providers are on that committee. And one of the things that I don't think we've done in the past is ask you all what you think about the keynotes. We go in, we bring people that we've seen throughout the years or we've heard really good things about. And we want to, though, this year, change it up a little bit and get your feedback and see what you think. So I wanted to introduce you to somebody called, his name is Ty. He is the Child Care Whisperer. I don't know if anybody has heard of him. But I wanted to show you a little clip of his and see what you think, because he's in the running for your keynote speaker. I want to know if your teachers would find this engaging, would find Ty engaging. He's pretty popular. He's very big, and we got one yes. So I want to see, and also what I would like to do too is if you have somebody that you love and you think they would do amazing as a keynote speaker, please share who that is, and we'll look into it, because there's a lot that goes into it. And yes, we had, thank you for that, Amber. He is very relevant to our field. So I'm just gonna, hopefully you can hear this. You guys have to tell me if you can hear it. I'm gonna be quiet and play this real quick for you. This is just a sample of something that he does.
Elizabeth, there is no sound.
Hopefully you can hear.
No, there's no sound.
Okay, so I just got told that there's no sound, but this is Ty. You can see what he's saying on the screen. They're kind of Okay, so what I'm gonna do is we are gonna make sure we include a clip. Can you guys hear me? I think you can still. Okay. What I'm gonna do is we'll include this clip of Ty, the child care whisperer, in a follow-up email to you. His website is theempowerment.agency. So you can go there and check him out. He does other services um, that you could book yourself if you wanted to bring him out to your site. So we also got a suggestion of Kimmy, the daycare diva. I love these names. Listen, in my next life, this is what I'm going to do, I swear. Um, so keep sending them in. If you have a suggestion of somebody you want us to check out, like I said, there's a lot that's involved in booking them. There's a budget and things like that. So some people are just beyond our reach. But if you have somebody that you think would be great for our community and would bring more people to our conference and would get everybody engaged and refreshed, then that is, we want to know. We want to know. Okay. All right. So that is something new that we wanted to bring to you. I'm going to keep going down our agenda for the purposes of our time today. So last year, there was House Bill 419 that was put in play. Latricia was going to join us to talk about this, but she had a conflicting meeting that she needed to go to. So I get to be her. Da, 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 da. House Bill 419 talks about customer satisfaction surveys. And you all participated in one last year from the Division of Early Learning. I don't know if any of you remember that you did that or not, but I'm very proud to say that we have over an 89% approval rate for our surveys from last year. And the surveys are made up of 4 components. There is a component that went out to any family that inquired about child care resource and referral, or CCR&R services. So that family, whoever that parent was that reached out to us, they got a survey from DEO with a specific set of questions asking about our customer service and did they get what they needed and how can we make it better? What did they like? What didn't they like? And all of the surveys, all 4 of them, consisted of the same kinds of questions, but geared more towards whatever the audience was. So the second one was for school readiness and VPK families that came into contact with us as the Early Learning Coalition who either did enroll in services or tried to enroll in services. Everybody got the survey. So the third one was to you all, to our childcare providers. The statute talks about within 30 days of you, let me make sure I'm saying this right. Trish gave me notes. The survey takes about 10 minutes to complete, and they have started to deploy these surveys as of July 1st, 2024. So those of you that are contracted with us, you should have a survey somewhere in your email that is associated with your profile. Okay. And that survey, it's really important that we get those surveys back because they play a part in our monitoring. So this year in 2025, the ELC will be monitored by the Division of Early Learning. They do make sure that we are following all the statutes, that we're doing everything that we are supposed to do in our contract with them, and that we're serving you and the families in Marion County the way we should be. So it's really important that you look for that survey, go ahead and complete that survey. You can start it and then save it and finish it at a different time. Your feedback is kept confidential. So we already got a report from last year's and nowhere does it identify who gave us what feedback. And I will say the majority of your feedback, first, thank you, because we had most of the feedback on there was very positive regarding our staff. And then the other piece that you all were very vocal about were the challenges with the system and how much time it takes to upload everything and to make sure everything is where it's supposed to be, and just different pieces of that, and how many systems we actually have. So those are all things that are going to help us as we move forward to make things better. So I would just say, please look in your email check your spam because it would be coming from, let me see if she gave me that information. I don't know what email it would actually come from, but it will be sent to you from a separate email. It doesn't, we don't even see it until this time next year. So we'll get all of the outcome of this year's survey, 2024. We'll get it next year. So that being said, check your email, check your spam. Please do complete those surveys. Oh, there's a fourth one to this component too, and that goes to our board of directors. So your child care representatives probably got that survey twice and they added 2 different questions on there that, or 2 different sets of questions that pertain to their seat as a board member and pertain to them as a child care provider. Okay. And that is it for me. So I'm going to see if Janet is unmuted. I don't see any questions so far. Thank you guys for giving us a few options for keynote speakers in the future. Let's see.
Okay, I'm
There you
unmuted.
are, Janet. I hear you.
Yeah. Okay, hello everyone. As you know, I'm going to talk to you about VPK updates and school readiness updates. The first update with VPK is
Oop,
the VPK.
I'm sorry. Hold on.
It's okay.
I went too far. There we go.
It's the VPK program accountability. It's the performance metric. So you guys know this was coming down the pipeline. We had talked about this in our VPK orientation last year and the year before last as well. Well, now it's finally here. And with the VPK performance metric, it's going to be based off of your composite score and also progress monitoring. So the composite score is going to count as 50% of the score. Um, and then with progress monitoring, you have the achievement component that's going to count as 20%, and then the learning gains component that's going to count as 30%. This comes from Rule 6M-8.622. What we have done is provided the rule for you in here so you can get more information on it yourself as well. We've also provided the memo that we received from DEL as well. I just wanted to point out to you guys that with the performance metric, when they calculate the performance metric for each VPK provider, they're going to give you this score within 45 days after that VPK program has ended, whether it's school term or summer. Okay. E, can you go to scroll down a little bit more? Okay, so this is the memo that we have shared with you. I want to encourage you guys to print this handout out and read through this memo. Also, you go to the next slide for me, please. This is the rule right here. So what I've done is I've highlighted the sections that I know is going to stand out to you the most, especially with your composite score, where you see based on how much or what score you get will be how many points you will get from that composite score, okay? And then also with the achievement and the learning gains as well. And then go to one more slide, Elizabeth, for me, please.
Did I go the wrong way?
Yeah, you go.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
So
Is this what
yeah,
you wanted? Okay.
this is this one. So here's a breakdown of it to help explain to you more about it. I want you guys to also print this out and save this for yourselves. What we're going to do is we're also going to do more research on it for ourselves so that we can better understand it, and then meet back with all our VPK providers at a later time to discuss more of the performance metric. Okay. So for the sake of time, I'm going to move on. I know that was a lot, so if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. Go back up, E.
Sorry.
It's okay. I have a lot to
My
talk about.
mouse is super sensitive today for some reason.
So I want you to put your questions in the chat, please. We will be sure to follow back up with you with all the guidance that we have on the performance metric. Okay. Um, Now we're going on to progress monitoring. Listen, guys,
And, oh, is this
that's gonna
right?
be my notes. Go up, go up. There we go.
Hold on.
Nope, one more.
Right there.
There we go. Yeah,
This?
no, go up one more. There
One
we
more.
go. One more. Yep. Ta-da. Okay. Okay. So progress monitoring. I know sometimes you guys get tired of Miss Janet. It's like she's sending me another email again, but that's only because we want to support you the best way that we can, and that is through open communication. Guys, it is important that you make sure that you get your progress monitoring done on all your students for each window. Right now, you're in progress monitoring one. So with that being said, it's coming to an end for many of our providers. Make sure that every student is tested. Even if you get a student that enrolls a little bit later, if you're still within that window, you have to test that student, okay? Because they will show up on your roster and you can possibly get a non-compliance for that. Also, I've had many providers reach out to me telling me, Miss Janet, I can't log in to Renaissance. My teachers can't log into Renaissance. Some providers have reached out, some providers have not. If you wait until a week before your progress monitoring one end date is due to let me know, we can help you, but you still may receive a non-compliance because it is your responsibility to communicate with us, okay? So any issues that you are having or your teachers is having logging in, make sure you communicate with either me, you have my email address, or you can communicate with Renaissance. My email is jonor@elc-marion.org. The phone number, we have it here, and my extension is 238. The information for Renaissance is there as well. Okay, now just a quick few reminders, some more for progress monitoring. Any student that is no longer enrolled in your program or has never started in your program, please follow up with the Family Services Department. Reach out to them. Michelle Urban, her extension is 239. She is your VPK manager. You want to follow up with her so you can properly unenroll those children from your program so they're not showing up in the portal. Any students that's on the portal is going to be on the roster, okay? And that will lead to a non-compliance for your site if those children are not, if those students are not tested. Okay, so the last thing for progress monitoring I want to
Okay,
share with you.
we do have one question, Janet.
Okay,
If I
I
can
know I'm
stop you.
going fast. I'm sorry, y'all.
No, you're good. So this is regarding the performance metric. Where will the
Okay,
performance metric score be located?
we're going to get some more guidance on
I
that
don't
to
think that's
share.
been released quite yet.
Right.
It's really,
Um,
really, really new. We just want to keep
Hi,
talking about it to keep
so,
it
Elizabeth.
in the forefront. Hmm.
Elizabeth, can you hear me, hon? It
Yep, we
is
can hear you.
in the documents that Janet has highlighted. It is in there that after programs end, it'll take up to 45 days and the scores will be sent to providers. I'm not sure if it
right.
means it'll be emailed, but it states that up to 45 days after the program ends, providers will be receiving their scores.
Correct. It's just a
That is
matter of
correct.
where will they be,
Where,
how will they be
right.
posted, and
Yeah.
those things. I don't think we know that answer quite yet. So just hang tight, but we definitely want to keep this in the forefront of everybody's thoughts.
Yes, thank you for asking this question. This rule will become effective on the 24th of this month. So we're hoping to get more information from that as we receive guidance from DEL. So what we want to do is just share with you what we have received so you're not blindsided and you know about the performance metric, okay? Any more questions regarding the performance metric?
There is no more questions at this time.
Okay. Okay, guys, thank you for that
Um,
question. I'm going to jump back into progress monitoring. I'll move a little quickly because there's others that have to speak as well. Um, your progress monitoring reports, please be sure you are running these reports. I've highlighted, not highlighted, but I have typed up some reports that you should be running, okay? The first report is the STAR screening report. This report is going to help you identify which students are above or at the benchmark, below the benchmark, who needs intervention or urgent intervention, or that are on the watch. The next report is the instructional planning report. This is going to give you a list of recommended individualized instructions or activities that you can do with that individual student. And then the next report is going to be the instructional planning class report. Same thing, it's going to give you some recommended activities for the group, small group or large group. Utilize these reports. Another report I did not put in here is the STAR parent report. I didn't put that in there because I talk about that almost all the time with you guys, but you know that it has to be provided to the parents 7 days after the children have taken that test. Not after the class, but after each child, okay? Um, so make sure you are keeping track of that. Any children who fall below that benchmark, please make sure that the parents are signing up for the New Worlds Reading Initiative. That's going to help support them, okay? Now that we're done with VPK, are there any questions before I move into school readiness?
No questions so far.
All right. Okay, so school readiness, providers, documents due. I can't talk about this enough, guys. You guys are responsible for making sure that all your contractual documents are uploaded in a timely manner. You know when it's going to expire. We send you guys emails 90 days in advance. That's to get it on your brain so that you can start that process of renewing these documents, whether it's liability insurance, autos, workers' comp, DCF license, membership accreditation. We're sending you these notification emails. Please take time to read the emails carefully. Also take time to upload the documents on time. Okay, this will lead to a non-compliance for you, and possibly we can withhold payment for the days that you do not have these documents, okay? Or the documents that have expired. Um, the next thing I want to share with you guys, Elizabeth, can you go down for me?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
is that it?
No, one more.
Keep going.
Yep.
Okay.
Go all the way down to you see the provider checklist, monthly activities.
Oh, there we go.
Elizabeth created this great
Oh,
checklist for you guys a while ago, and we shared it with you guys, but I wanted to share it with you again. Your attendance, this has been a very big issue for not only provider relations, but also reimbursement. You guys are responsible for submitting your attendance on time. We've been running into many providers waiting to after the third business day to submit their attendance, or asking the reimbursement department, hey, can you reject my attendance, please? I have to make a correction. And then the other issue we're running into with many providers is not submitting your temporary closure in on time. They have to reject your attendance. So here's what's going to happen. You guys have the risk of not being paid to the next billing cycle, okay? Because it states in your contract that your attendance must be submitted the third business day of each month. We also remind you guys, and we're running into that, and it's very difficult for our reimbursement team to reject your attendance, then go back and then reprocess it all over again. So we don't want to make any promises that you're going to get paid on time if you submit your attendance late. Okay, so this is a friendly little checklist sheet for you guys to remind you guys of when these items are due. Okay, do I have any questions?
none that I can see.
Okay, all right. Also, I just wanted to remind you guys too that make sure you are submitting your QPS rosters. I'm sorry, Mary's gonna talk about that. I'm gonna back up. I don't want to steal her thunder. Okay. All right. So I'm done. Mary's gonna come in, and then I'll come back in to speak for Miss Melissa Masonette. Okay. I'm gonna mute myself.
Can everybody hear me okay? Can you hear
Mary, we
me?
can hear you. Just let me know when to scroll.
Okay, after that provider checklist, we're going to go on to the next screen. I just want to reiterate real fast about what Janet just said about temporary closures. Please, please, a temporary closure is for emergency closures. A car happens to run into your building, a tree limb falls onto your building,
All
something
have
caught
happened
fire.
before.
Those are emergency temporary closures. Planned closures. Right now is the middle of September. I just found out I'm having a procedure done at a doctor's office. I'm going to close the whole day in October. That is a planned closure that needs to go onto your profile closure calendar. Okay, now onto our screen here. Thank you everyone for joining us. This sheet here, the private pay rate sheet, and the following sheet is the fee sheet. These are mandatory if you are changing your rates and or your fees. These two pieces of paper correspond with the private pay rate tab that is on your computer profile screen, and it corresponds with the fees and discounts screen. These are critical documents. Anytime you change one box on either of those two screens, these forms are necessary. The second part here is up here at the top of both of them. It says the effective date. The effective date is always the first of the next month. So today I'm in the middle of September. I'm filling out this form. This is going to go into effect 10/1 of 24. So I hope everybody, if you let me know if you got any questions about that. It's the first of the next month. If you're filling it out in the middle of December, you're going to make it effective 1/1 of 25, okay? All right, now we're going to scroll on down here past the fee sheet. Uh-oh, my other print screen did not get in here.
Okay, tell
Okay.
me what it is because I have it pulled up. I can pull it
In
over.
the folder, there should be one that says Mary's tip or Mary's 2. There should have been a 1, 2, and a 3. This rate stuff was the number 1.
Mm,
Number 2.
let's see. Oh, hold on. Give me just a second
Okay.
and I will get to it. Let's see here. Let's see here. Bear with us for a second. You know, I'm not as good as Lily is at this stuff. Mary 2. Okay, let's see what we got for Mary 2. I found it.
It should be a QPS screen. And then you can get,
And can you
yes,
see it?
yep, and you can get Mary 3 ready for to come next.
I am
So
ready
this
for you,
here,
Mary. Bring it.
oh, you got my back, girlfriend. All right. So what we see on the screen here, QPS rosters. This is so important. These need to be submitted prior to the last day of the month. Let's see where you see that purple submit button. Right above that, the sentence says click on the below button, your staff for the monthly requirement. Right after that, it says all providers receiving composite scores are required to update these rosters monthly. I cannot stress how important this is. But when you go to your screen, when you click your submit button and look down below, you will be seeing all of the months and it'll show you if the roster has been submitted. It'll say complete.
Sorry, I was trying to get your
That's okay. That's
third one
okay.
ready and it looks
Yep.
like it won't
So
open it for
now
us.
if you can go to the next one, Elizabeth.
It will not open for us, so we're gonna have to use
All right.
your powers of
That's okay.
description.
I will use this one that we're on.
Okay.
If you look down below and you see the month on the left side, and let's go down to April 24. if that's not showing a date in the middle that says roster submitted, if there's no blank there at all, then instead of saying complete on the right side, it's going to say unsubmitted. If there's several of those on your screen, please call me so that I can help give you technical assistance, because it's very, very important that these get submitted monthly. If you ever go into QPS and you're having difficulties with the system that month, you can't get to your screen, you can't get to your submit button, please, please call me. I can assist you and give you technical assistance so that no months get missed. And you know, I care about you all, so don't be afraid to call me. Thank you all so, so much.
Okay. Do we have any questions for Mary before I get started with,
I do have one question.
okay.
It says, I now just have just VPK students. Do I submit my roster now?
Hello, for
This-
VPK only, they do not do QPS.
Yep.
Only
Mhm.
school
That's right.
readiness.
So you
Okay.
don't have to worry about it right now. If
Mm-hmm.
you choose to join us for school readiness, then you will have this piece that this will be added to your to-do list. All right, that answered her question. So
Okay.
next I don't know that, do I have anything on the screen that I should be pulling up? Janet?
No, you don't have anything on the screen to
Okay.
pull up. I have some notes here from Melissa that she just wanted for me to share with you guys. Speaking of QPS, if you are in pending composite score, you're not going to be able to submit your roster. And that's the only time that you won't be able to submit the roster. Okay. Um, we're asking that you be mindful when you're in QPS and that you notify Melissa and her team if you do need to make any changes to your teachers, to your classroom. Making changes without making us aware really does affect your classroom selection to be observed. Okay. Um, the next thing she wanted for me to share with you guys is the 2-week notice for SR and VPK. So you're starting to receive your 2-week notices from her team now. Um, please be mindful, especially with your VPK app, if you're making changes to your teachers, you have to notify the provider relations team, okay, so that we can make sure that your app is certified and that you have the correct teacher in the classroom. She's asking that you provide your classroom schedule to the assessors. That's going to help with scheduling and arrival time to the facilities for her team. Okay. Um, I want to touch back on the VPK app again. When Children's Forum or Melissa and Nancy is reaching out to you regarding your VPK observations, if you continue to make changes without notifying them, if you continue to try to make changes to your blackout dates, that's going to possibly push your observation back, and then we're going to count that as you being out of compliance because you're not notifying us in a timely manner. You're not communicating with us properly in a timely manner. Okay, with your blackout dates. Once you get your 2-week window and Melissa and her team request the blackout dates for you, if you say that you don't have any blackout dates, once you're scheduled, you're scheduled. Okay, if you try to issue and submit blackout dates um, towards the middle or the end of your 2-week window, she's not going to accept it. Okay, I want to make you very aware of that. Okay, so no changes can be made to any blackout dates either. If you tell her these are my 3 blackout dates, you give it to her, she's going to put it on her scheduler. She's going to get you scheduled. If you make a change to your blackout date, she will not be able to accommodate you like that because we have over 250 classrooms observations that we must conduct. Okay, are there any questions?
There are no questions at this time.
All righty. That is all for me and Melissa.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
And Lily and Melissa are on a training with the Division of Early Learning today, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So that's why they are not here. So we're going to move on to our compliance corner with Michaela Powell.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Just wanted to give a refresher on the ASQ screenings. It is in your contract, your school readiness contract, paragraph number 17. It states that the parent and provider must collaborate with the coalition to complete initial screenings for each child aged 6 weeks to 60 months within 45 calendar days after the child's first or subsequent enrollment in the school readiness program to identify a child who may need intervention practices. Provider acknowledges that the coalition is responsible for initiating intervention practices in accordance with Rule 6M-4.720. The provider and coalition acknowledge that the screening shall not be a requirement of entry into the school readiness program and shall only be given with parental consent. The provider acknowledges that the parent or provider is responsible for conducting these developmental screenings for each child aged 6 weeks to 60 months in accordance with the rule. And also the rule states in 6M-4.720, during the initial screenings that each early learning coalition shall coordinate with parents and providers to complete an initial screening for each child aged 6 weeks to 60 months. Children shall be screened no later than 45 calendar days after his or her first enrollment in the school readiness program. Excuse me, or enrollment has been terminated or withdrawn from the school readiness program. Just keep in mind that if you have a child that has enrolled with your facility, that as far as the attendance, that you are to report attendance as well. So don't wait until you're receiving these non-compliance or these updates, which are past the 45 days for the children to be screened, to let us know that the children either they have not attended or they only attended 1 or 2 days or something like that. So just keep in mind to let us know, let Miss Sienna know that the child has not attended.
Okay, let me look and see. We don't have any questions. Thank you, Michaela. But I do see David Friedlander, your hand is raised. Did you want to unmute and share anything? Okay, well, we will keep going. So the last part of our packet today, well, we have a reimbursement review, but I feel like that's a placeholder in case we needed to share anything with you. I did share a little bit about where we're at on the grant payments that you all have been so patiently waiting for. Do we have any staff that want ELC staff, Lydia or Elizabeth Eckleberry, that want to share anything? Okay. We're going to move on to professional development. Annie, did you want to share anything, or would you like me to just go through the options that we have? They are in your packet.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you're really, really, really quiet.
Okay, probably help if I move
There
my
you
mic.
go.
Sorry about
There
that.
you go.
All right.
That sounds great.
Yes. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to share some of the upcoming development trainings that are still open for registration. Hopefully, you had an opportunity to take a chance to look at the calendar. And some of these trainings are filling up rather fast. So keep in mind that you want to act fast on some of these classes. All right, so one of the first classes we have here is a professional development opportunity is Behavior Bootcamp. This is our cohort, the second session, 1 through 4. This is going to be virtual, Thursday, September the 26th to October 17th, and it's going to be from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. And this class is also free and still has openings available. All right, so the next training is the family engagement, nurturing self-regulation and critical thinking. This class is going to be offered on Saturday, September the 28th from 10 to 12. And it still has some openings available as well. Okay. And then our next one is It's Okay to Play in VPK. We're going to be having part 1 here at the Coalition. This is a new class that we just started here. It's going to be from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And this class is hopefully you have an opportunity to join us for this playful and interactive training. We're going to dive into purposeful strategies for children to play in VPK while learning to play. This course is aligned with early learning and development standards. This course also is aligned to assist you with activities that aligned with the class tool. And if you have, all right, and so that is going, and then there's going to be a second class. It's going to be offered on October the 26th after crosswords.
Further down. Yeah.
So this next class here is crossroads, and this is a post PM1. It's going to be offered October the 26th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And this is going to be with our facilitator, Anna Gonzalez, and she is from the DEL. She's going to be going over the FastStar PM1 that we just completed. Okay, and then on that same day, we are going to have another part of the It's Okay to Play in VPK. This is going to be the 26th, and that class is going to be from 1:30 to 4:30. And also Anna is going to help us to facilitate this class as well. Here it is. All right.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, I was reading through it with you and then I lost
Yes.
it.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. And so hopefully you'll have opportunity to join us and all right, at this class. All right, and so the next one is a language of class, the professional learning opportunity. This class is going to be offered Monday, October the 21st, 2024, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And also we have the language of class, promoting instructional support in the preschool classroom. This is a new one. And this is going to be, ooh, you were rolling, I couldn't see. This session,
Sorry.
it's okay. All right, so this session provides knowledge of resources and helpful strategies that align with the Florida Early Learning and Development Standards. So it encourages teachers-child interaction and helps educators identify ways to improve their instructional practices. Again, this is going to be offered October the 28th, that Monday night from 6 to 8 p.m. And just as a reminder, the full professional development schedule is located at our website at elc-marion.org. All right, that's it, Lily.
Yep. I
All
think
right.
the last thing is
Mhm.
just something from the College of Central Florida. Since we
Yes.
are partners with them, we want to share what they are offering as well. So we have that in your packet. And if you have any questions, put them in the chat. We're going to wait just a couple more minutes. But other than that, you all have a great rest of your week. Thank you for doing what you're doing. And we'll see you on October 30th is our next provider meeting at 1 p.m. All right. Well, I'll stick around for just a couple more minutes. And everybody else, you guys have a great day. Thank you for joining us today. Okay. Well, you all take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.